Voluminous. Make America voluminous again.
I'm fighting with my friends. I don't want to vote today. I hate both these candidates. If you want to vote down ticket or issues, that's fine. But don't just throw your vote away for one of these reprehensible candidates. Not to sound like a jerk or anything, but I can't stand your pretentious take on people who get upset when someone chooses not to vote. I can assure you my reasons for voting are a lot stronger for the reasons you're voting for whoever the hell you're voting for. I personally can't believe anybody is voting. Well, I understand that for the president, but there's other issues. Don't you have issues in your community that you care about? Maybe not. Guys, thought you should know I voted my ass off this morning.
Yes.
Pretty sure I fixed all our nation's problems today. You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's from Jim Harbaugh.
Mike in Farmington says, I don't see how any Bernie Sanders voter or any sane Republican can choose one of these two candidates for president. Can't do it.
Can't do it. Not going to do it.
Well, you know what? That's why people think that Trump really has a good chance in this state, because Bernie Sanders beat Hillary Clinton in this state, and a lot of his supporters might not be switching over.
Well, if his supporters listen to him,
right,
he would say, hey.
Regarding the presidential vote, what if you're bitching because you don't believe any of these candidates can make the changes you want to see? Should you vote for the lesser evil?
Yes.
Personally, I do not endorse any of the candidates and refuse to lend them my support, and that should be okay.
It is okay. It absolutely
right.
You can do whatever the hell you want. That's the beautiful thing about our country. I get tired of people who bitch about things and then don't lift a finger to change them. And that's more true of work, community, things like that, schools. I mean, the teacher, whatever, do something.
Yeah.
Join the school board, join the PTA, do something, get involved, try to change it rather than just sit back. It's so easy for everybody to just sit back and complain.
I'm 34 and a first-time voter.
Oh.
Previously, I refused to give legitimacy to what I felt was a flawed two-party heavy system. We have elections with under 50% turnout. We refute other governments' elections that have higher turnout than ours. That's from Jay and Wayne.
I wonder what turned them around to vote this time.
I don't know. The state of you don't have the right to complain is worse than sticker guy. You are a sticker guy sprinkled with some false sense of entitlement. I
don't have a false sense of entitlement. It's my opinion. I'm not saying I'm right. Believe me, there's a lot of people think I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm just telling you what I think without... I'm trying to speak more in generalities because me giving my actual political stance on things is stupid. Because people who agree with me, and people who don't. I'm not going to change anybody's mind. I'm not that naive. But I think that it's our... Stop it. I think it's our obligation to actually vote. Whatever. All right, we also talk about the Lions and asking the question why the Lions have been able to... Why these games are all so close. And you're right, it probably is just as simple as it's the NFL.
Yes, exactly.
I think the underrated part of all this has been their special teams, which has been very, very good. I won't say perfect, but has been a strength that I don't think has been recognized nearly enough. And I think it takes a game like we saw on Sunday where they were so clearly better than the opposing special teams.
Well, that's because the Vikings special teams just blew.
No, it's not just because of that.
I know the Lions were good, but...
Well, Prater kicked field goals of 47, 52, and 58 yards. That's, not many kickers are going to have a day like that. That's an all-timer. And Martin was outstanding. So, I mean, look, they did the job. They're doing the job. And, a lot of times that keeps you in games. The switch in field position, when you're pinned down at your own 20 or 15 and you can flip the field, when you can start in reasonable field position. If you win the battle of field position, a lot of times that gives you a leg up in winning the game. And then you have a quarterback playing the way Stafford is. Some other ticket texts on that. The number one reason the Lions have been able to keep games close and pull out late wins is obvious. The Michael Stone Eliminator. That's from Scott in Toledo. It's a valid point. Ever since you eliminated the Lions, they've lost one game.
Correct.
Right? They're 4-1 since you eliminated them. Mm-hmm. The best part of the Lions' win was after Tate scored the game winner and the Vikings coach on the sideline was scratching his head in bewilderment, like WTF just happened. We've seen that look before, haven't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that look plenty of times.
He should have done it to himself after he just rushed two guys past Andre Roberts.
Zelly texts in, we play to our competition, simple as that. I don't think we're capable of getting blown out or winning big. I disagree. I think they're capable of both. I think their defense is capable of getting blown out, as they were blown out in the first half of the Green Bay game. And I think they're capable. I think when the depending on what happens between now and then, I think when the Jags come to town, Lions could open up a can on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Depends what kind of move. There's rumors, by the way, if the Jags lose this week against Houston, I believe they're home against Houston, but I'm not 100%. I know they play Houston. That if they lose, Gus Bradley could be fired after this week.
Are you calling for that to happen?
No, but you could see a new coach come into Ford Field.
Are you burying Gus Bradley?
No.
Okay. The Jaguars?
They haven't. We buried him. We buried him last week.
There was
the two
a
of us.
dual burial.
Yes, we took turns.
We have a good offense and a bad defense. Last team to have the ball will win. In theory, that's true. However, they went against a team on Sunday who had a bad offense and a good defense.
Right, but he's talking about the Lions.
No, I know, but I mean, you're going to face teams who have different strengths, different weaknesses. I think the fact that they're special teams, and this is another one. Special teams is a product of depth. The thing that gives the Lions a chance every game is they have athletic depth when injuries happen. It helps the D. That's from Sam. And that kind of speaks to the job that the mighty Quinn has done, adding depth and guys who...
Which was his first thing he even said he needed to do.
He did.
He looked at the roster. He says, we need to get more players.
First thing he said he needed to do, and he did.
Absolutely.
He did. Karsh and Anderson are coming up next. Gator, happy Election Day to you, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Did you vote yet?
Not yet. I vote when I go home. I don't want to sit in line for an hour.
No, it's a good idea. Yeah, gosh, Doug.
Yeah,
55 minutes.
Doug made it, though. Doug is here for people who are concerned, who heard him call in earlier. Doug has made it for the show.
Yes, he's here for the show.
Thank God.
A friend of mine texted me that she waited in line 45 minutes, 25 of which outside.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever waited that long to vote.
I think I waited that long.
Waiting like 40 minutes, 45 minutes to vote, but it's when I used to live in Royal Oak, and it was a pretty big polling place, and there were actually two precincts that went to the same area. But you always forgot which precinct you were.
This is the Trump effect.
You'd have to go in there and wait and look at the map and figure it out. But no, lately, because I'm having to go and vote after 2 o'clock or whatever, it's much easier. As long as I get there before 4, the lines aren't terrible. For me, anyway. But for everybody else, good luck.
We played this earlier on the show. I played it off the air for Sarah. Have you guys seen the video of the iguana and the snakes?
Yes. I love it.
It's unbelievable.
It's one of the greatest pieces of film I've ever seen in my entire life.
It really is. I talked about it yesterday, and Doug thinks it's going to scare people.
It does scare. It scares me.
It doesn't scare me. I'm astounded by it. I think it's.
I want the iguana as a kick returner.
Yeah. What's the thing?
He would have been whistled dead though. At that one point,
probably he was in the grass.
Forward progress was stopped.
Listen, it depends what stadium you're at. I've seen that call where you're allowed 2, 3, 4, 5 attempts, and then they still call.
It's a valid point.
It depends if the same crew who refereed last night.
Game.
Yeah.
Was iguana's knee down at any point?
I don't think so. But I think there were too many snakes on the field.
There might have been. Terrible blocking by the rest of the iguanas.
But I think you have to go into it watching it again and try not to think of it as the creepy crawlies because the snakes and iguanas are like, Just think of it as this is survival, and it's just cool. It's amazing you got that kind of footage.
Yeah.
Oh,
watching the snakes climb up the rocks. Yes! And, oh my God! Look how agile these things are.
I love the close up of the iguana's face.
Oh yeah, because they make it look cute, and iguanas are not.
That was the NFL Films crew where they shoot it tight. Yeah.
I thought it was odd that Stan Kwan opted not to use the snakes. Right. I would have used the snakes on every play if I could have.
Well, and the snakes, given what happened, probably should have gone for it rather than punt to the iguana in the first place.
I agree.
Well,
I thought
clearly
was
out of position.
Otherwise,
it would have made a better pursuit angles, and it would have been able to bring them down. But I agree. I think it's
their pad level was too low.
Amazing piece of video.
Coming up.
Did we tweet it out, snakes and iguana, right?
Yeah.
You did? Okay, so yes, you can see it at...
it's so good. It's so good.
At Doug and Gator 97.1. We'll talk about the voting experience. Plus, somebody's running for president today.
Yeah, we've heard. It's been mentioned.
No, it's me.
Oh.
I'll give you my platform in the 11 o'clock.
Karsh. Maybe Greg Hargrave will vote for you. 97.1 The Ticket.
WXYT FM.